So it's 1985. I'm 10 years old. I run out of the house and I get on my BMX bike and I ride down the road to my friend's house and I yell out his name, Sivia! That's his name. And Sivia comes out, jumps on his bike, and we race all the way to Warner Elementary School for the first day of 4th grade. I lock up my bike, walk into my new homeroom classroom, and my life changes forever. The girl's name is Heather, and she's the prettiest girl I have ever seen in my life. She has short brown hair, slightly buck front teeth, and she's wearing these white and brown saddle shoes, like brown in some parts, white in other parts, and I've never seen shoes like this. And these shoes are so weird and so funky. I think that maybe a girl that wears shoes like this might be the kind of girl that likes a boy like me. And that's the problem. Sivia and I are two of the only Asian kids in the whole school. And everybody thinks we're weird. We hang out mostly by ourselves, usually over by the swings. But it doesn't matter. I know that this is the girl for me. We are meant to be together. As the year goes by, she becomes more popular, and I think she knows that I exist, but maybe not more than that. We never really talk, and I just admire her from across the room. Warner Elementary School is on an army base, so that means that every one of these kids at some point will move when their dad or mom gets orders to move and be stationed at another military base. And this year is my year. My dad gets orders to move to Germany. And this gives me an idea. I think that, I could take this address book that my mom gave me, and I'll try to get everybody's address. And if I can get Heather's address, then we can write each other and become pen pals. She'll get to know me. Like outside of school, she'll feel free to express the way she really feels about me. So one day I walk up to her and I say, hey, I'm moving to Germany. Can I write to you? And she takes the address book from me and she writes down her address and hands it back to me. And I think, yes, my plan is going to work. I won't have my new address until we actually get to Germany, but I start writing Heather letters right away. I don't write her every day, I'm not crazy, but I write her about our trip to visit my family in Minnesota. I write her about our road trip to Washington, D.C. I buy her postcards in New York. By the time we get to Germany, I have a whole stack of letters with Heather's name and address written on them, ready to go. When we get our new address, I write it on the back of all the letters, I put stamps on it, and I put them in the mail. And I wait, and it feels like forever, but one day my dad comes home with mail for me, and he has a whole stack of letters for me. It's the exact same stack of letters that I sent to Heather, all stamped in red ink, return to sender, addressee unknown. I'm devastated. I can't imagine what could have gone wrong. The girl I meant to be with, and I have no way to contact her. I'm moping around the house like Charlie Brown sad. And my mom asks me what's wrong, and I tell her, and she says to me, it was probably just a mistake. Do you have any friends that you could write to and get her address? And I'm like, yes, Sivia is still there at Warner Elementary School. So I write him a letter. It's the first letter that I ever write him. And I ask him to get Heather's address for me. And I don't think I realize what I'm asking him to do, right? The weird outcast Asian kid, I want him to go up to the popular girl with the funky shoes and say, hey, my other weird Asian friend wants to write you letters, and he's going to do this in front of everybody. I mean, this would have to be really embarrassing, and I don't think I would have been able to do it. But sure enough, 2 months later, I get a letter from Sivia. I open it up, and right there in the middle of the page is Heather's address. And I look at it, and it looks, like her full name, her address. It looks like the real address. And I have a whole stack of letters ready to send to her with this new address. But I don't. And I don't know why it took me so long to realize it, but the girl that I had a huge crush on gave me a fake address because I was moving to another country, and she didn't ever want to hear from me again. I take the whole stack of letters, and I throw them in the trash. And I look back at this now, and I feel ridiculous because I was 10, and I didn't need a soulmate. I didn't even need a girlfriend. I just needed a friend. And Sivia was a real friend. And the one address that I wish I still had today is his. Thank you very much.